Okay, you're all set.
Thank you. My name is Jody Zakrevsky. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the County of Otsego Industrial Development Agency, and we're here on a proposed housing project, a public hearing in the village of Cooperstown. We caused to be notice of public hearing on the proposed project and financial assistance related thereto. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing pursuant to section 859A2 of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York, the Act, will be held in the County of Otsego Industrial Development Agency on the 23rd day, September 23rd, 2024 at 11 o'clock local time at the Village of Cooperstown Village Hall, located at 22 Main Street in the Village of Cooperstown, Town of Otsego, Otsego County, New York, in connection with the following matters. Vecino Group, New York, a New York State limited liability company. The company submitted an application, to the agency, a copy of which application is on file in the office of the agency, which application requested that the agency consider undertaking a project, for the benefit of the company. Said project consisting of the following: A1, the acquisition of interest in approximately 1.17 acre parcel of land located at 217 Main Street, tax map number 115.17-1-52.00 in the Village of Cooperstown, Town of Otsego, Otsego County, New York, the land, together with existing building located thereon, the existing building. 2, the demolition of the existing building and building the new facility of 46,000 square feet, approximately 3 stories. And 3, the acquisition and installation of certain machinery and equipment therein and thereof, the equipment, the land, the facility, and the equipment hereinafter referred to as the project facility, all the foregoing to be owned and operated by the company or an affiliate thereof, as an approximately 50-unit multifamily affordable housing developed and other directly or indirectly related activities. B, the granting of certain financial assistance within the meaning of section 854.14 of the Act with respect to the foregoing, including potential exemptions from certain sales and use tax, real property tax, real estate transfer tax, and mortgage recording tax, collectively the financial assistance. And C, the lease with the obligation to purchase of sale of project facility to the company or such other persons as may be designated by the company and agreed to by the agency. The agency is considering whether A, to undertake the project, and B, to provide certain exemptions from taxation with respect to the project, including 1, the exemption from mortgage recording tax with respect to any documents, if any, recorded by the agency with respect to the project in the office of the county clerk, Otsego County, New York, or elsewhere. 2, the exemptions from D transfer taxes or any real estate transfers, if any, with respect to the project. 3, the exemption from sales tax relating to the acquisition, construction, renovation, and installation of the project facility. And 4, in the event that the project facility would be subject to real property taxation if owned by the company, but shall not be deemed exempt from real property taxation due to the involvement of the agency therewithin. Exemption from real property taxes, but not including special assessments and special ad valorem levies, if any, with respect to the project facility, subject to the obligation of the company to make payment in lieu of taxes with respect to the project facility. If a portion of the project financial assistance to be granted by the agency with respect to the project is not consistent with the agency's uniform tax exempt policy, the agency will follow the procedures for deviation from such policy set forth in section 874.4 of the Act prior to granting such portions of financial assistance. If the agency determines to proceed with the project facility will be acquired, constructed, reconstructed, and installed by the agency and will be leased with an obligation to purchase or sold by the agency to the company or its designee pursuant to a project agreement, the agreement requesting that the company or its designee make certain payments to the agency. The agency had not yet made a determination pursuant to Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law, the SECA Act, regarding the potential environmental impacts of the project. The agency will at said time and place, hear all persons with views on either the location and the nature of the proposed project or the financial assistance being contemplated by the agency in connection with the proposed project. A copy of the application filed by the company with the agency with respect to the project, including an analysis of cost and benefits of the project, is available for public inspection during business hours at the offices of the agency. A transcript or summary report of the hearing will be made available to members of the agency. Additional information can be obtained from, and written comments may be addressed to Jody Zakrevsky, Chief Executive Officer, County of Otsego Industrial Development Agency at 189 Main Street, Suite 500, Oneonta, New York, 13820. Telephone 607-267-4010. This was dated September 9th, 2024, and published in the Oneonta Daily Star. I do have a letter that I will read from the Cooperstown Central School District. This was dated September 12th, 2024. Dear Mr. Zakrevsky, the Cooperstown Central School District, the school district is in receipt of the enclosed letter from Otsego Now, the IDA, dated August 26, 2024, regarding the Vecino Group New York LLC company project. The letter advises that the IDA has received an application from the company requesting financial assistance, which deviates from the IDA's uniform tax exemption policy. The letter further advises that the application relates to a project at 217 Main Street in Cooperstown involving the construction of a 50-unit affordable housing development project, and that a hearing is scheduled for September 26, 2024 to review the proposed UTEP deviation. The proposed pilot term deviates significantly from OCIDA's UTEP. The UTEP provides for this type of project to receive a 10-year pilot with a 50% abatement for first 5 years and 50% abatement for the final 5 years. However, the company seeks a 30-year tax abatement. The application calculates that the pilot payments during the 30-year period as 10% of the sheltered rents received, which could be significantly less than the real property taxes which would otherwise be owed. The precise value of the pilot payments over 30 years term is difficult to establish with certainty, although the company estimates that the real property tax abatement will total approximately $2,082,610 over the pilot's term. Although the proposed pilot term represents a significant deviation from the UTEP factors listed in the UTEP, which must be analyzed for the proposed deviation, are not met by this project. First, the application does not indicate the affected tax jurisdictions will be reimbursed by the company if the project does not fulfill the purposes for which the tax exemption was granted. Second, the application does not demonstrate the impact on the proposed project on existing and proposed businesses and or economic development projects. In fact, the application estimates only 3 permanent full-time jobs will be created as a result of the project. Third, the estimated value of the tax exemptions is significant, estimated at $2,082,610 in real property tax abatement alone. This equates to nearly $700,000 in real property taxes abatement per job being created. Notably, the application states that the jobs will not be moved outside of the state of New York in the event the abatement is not approved. Application page 12. The estimated completion of the project will cost approximately $23,800,000, which is of little economic development to the taxing jurisdictions when compared to the length of the tax abatement set forth in the pilot. The company has failed to establish that the community and or economic development benefits will justify significant tax abatements to the extent that 30 years in length. Simply put, the terms of the pilot agreement dictate that the school district and community as a whole will provide exponentially more tax incentives than benefit derived from the project. For the foregoing reasons, the school district formally objects to the pilot agreement in connection with today's September 26, 2024 public hearing. Please do not hesitate to contact me with any questions regarding the school district's position regarding this matter. Sincerely, Sarah Sprouse, Superintendent of Schools. So with that, I do have several people in the audience. Would anybody like to make a comment?
How are you, Jody?
Good. How are you?
Hello, I'm Ellen Tillapaw, Mayor of the Village of Cooperstown. The village's comprehensive plan, created after a great deal of community input, cited the need for housing within our village, particularly apartment-style housing. This goal was noted in our 2022 New York Forward application. The initial year, New York State offered the $4.5 million award for communities of our size. 2023, Cooperstown received the New York Forward Award, and in a 7-month process, the 14-person local planning committee assembled a priority list of projects which could be transformative within our downtown New York Forward boundary. From that priority list of 12 projects, the Department of State selected one housing project, designating $1.3 million for Willowbrook residential housing, which will create 13 new residential units in a mix of apartment and townhouses on the corner of Glen and Grove in the Railroad District of our village. Within the New York Forward process, no project was proposed for 217 Main Street, the former Where It All Began back company. The village has long been interested in that site's potential for housing. However, because of the New York Forward process, a developer of housing became aware of the property. Vecino Group is a national company dedicated to the development of affordable and supportive housing. In January, they partnered with Springbrook on an application to the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities, integrated supportive housing, for 8 dedicated 1-bedroom units in the potential 50-unit, 35 1-bedroom and 15 2-bedroom, 3-story building. Springbrook would provide on-site support services for individuals in those 8 units. In February, Springbrook received a $1.78 million award notification from OPWDD. Representatives from Vecino presented at the village's April and May HPARB meetings. Following a public hearing at the May meeting, HPARB approved with several stipulations the demolition of the existing building. Vecino will only proceed with the demolition of this building if funding is secured for the housing development. According to the village's zoning law, the use of this 1.17-acre lot for multiple family housing is permitted. The building can be 42 feet or 3 stories tall without a variance. The estimated project cost is around $23 million. The new building will include a community space with kitchen, fitness center, on-site property management, on-site maintenance, on-site Springbrook Support Agency office for the IDD population, free building-wide Wi-Fi, and accessible amenities within walking distance. Vecino Group currently has 23 supportive communities in 9 states, with 6 of those communities in upstate New York. Of those 6 supportive communities, Mosaic Village Cohoes and Asteri Utica received OPWDD integrated supportive housing funding. As currently designed, the Vecino development at 217 Main Street will provide affordable housing at rents set at 30% of Otsego County median income for 5 units, which would be $18,480 for a single or $21,120 for a couple, 50% of Otsego County median income for 11 units, $30,800 for a single or $35,200 a couple, 60% of Otsego County median income for 16 units, 36,840 single, 42,060 for couple, and 80% of Otsego County median income for 10 units, 49,120 single, 56,000 couple, plus the 8 units held for those with intellectual or developmental disabilities to have services provided by Springbrook. This will set rents at a range of $433 to $1,090 for a 1-bedroom and $5,011 to $1,300 for a 2-bedroom, varying by median income level. The village's largest employer, Bassett Hospital, employs close to 2,500 people at its Atwell Road complex. The only COVID relief funding received by the Village of Cooperstown, ARPA, American Recovery Plan Act funds, was based on a population figure of 1,752 people. The variance between our population of less than 1,800 people and the employment statistic of 2,500 at Bassett illustrates the discrepancy between employees and our available housing stock. A 2018 Bassett internal survey indicated that a significant number of employees would prefer to live locally, but were instead commuting from communities 20 to 40 miles away where they could find more housing choices. In addition to Bassett Healthcare, Cooperstown boasts a strong tourism industry, and those businesses, museums, restaurant, and lodging establishments require many individuals at various income levels to fully staff them. The affordable housing development at 217 Main Street will fill that necessary need. I had strong reservations about and was not supportive of the only other pilot in the Village of Cooperstown, the one associated with the housing development at 10 Chestnut Street. I was the lone voice speaking against that pilot at the IDA's public hearing. However, I am in favor of this proposed pilot for 217 Main Street. This 30-year pilot is more tax revenue supportive for the village. It will provide tax revenue needed for the municipal services the village will provide, such as water, sewer, streets, and police. More than the town and county, the village will be the municipality providing services. It is my understanding that another affected party, the Cooperstown Central School District, has submitted a letter not in support of this housing project and its associated pilot. I have just heard that letter read into the record here today. I'm involved in other non-municipal organizations in this village and am aware that this month, the entering class of kindergarten students numbered 38. The lowest number ever. In the 7 grades of the Cooperstown Elementary School, there is an enrollment of just 383 students. There was a time just 15 years ago that there were 600 students in elementary school. The administration of CCS is being short-sighted in their non-support of this pilot for affordable housing. There is a great opportunity to increase their student population with this housing project and receive tax revenue from a higher property assessment. When round 8 of Restore New York opened in late February, the village board approved submitting a letter of intent in support of the 217 Main Street housing project, and were subsequently encouraged to apply for funding. Only municipalities can apply for this funding stream. A public hearing on that grant application was held at the April Village Board meeting, at which representatives from Vecino Group presented information on the proposed project. The CFA Restore New York grant application for $1.78 million was submitted prior to the May 22nd deadline. Unfortunately, we were not successful with that application. However, we're encouraged to apply in the next round. Round 9 just opened on Friday, and tonight I will be seeking Board of Trustee approval to again submit an application in support of this project. The village is in support of the housing development at 217 Main. If the financing and HCR support proceed in the next few months, Vecino will be presenting building plans at upcoming village zoning meetings. All our meetings are public as well as live streamed and recorded on the village's YouTube channel. Meetings can be watched live by clicking on the VOC Live button on the village website. And VOC Live also links to our YouTube channel where all meeting recordings are located and are public. Thank you. Do you want a copy of this?
Thank you, Mayor. Would anyone else like to be heard? Going once? No? It is now 11:21. And at this point in time, I will recess the hearing for another 9 minutes, and at 11:30, we'll close the hearing. It's now 11:30 and no one else has showed up. So at this point in time, I'm going to close the public hearing on the Vecino Group Housing Project. Thank you.